You know, while we got a little bit of time, I want to let you know that tomorrow, Sunday's always special here, how we wind it down with our ceremony, our candlelight vigil, and so forth. And we'll talk a little bit that more, but I want to let you know that when we get to that portion tomorrow with the candlelights here, the visual, you're actually going to hear about a 2-minute, about 2.5 minute of a live firefight. You're going to hear various weapons. This is the real deal. We do this every year. And I also want to let you know that our good friend here, Leah Hale, who works down in Minneapolis with PBS, is in the process of wrapping up a series next year that's going to have a native perspective about Vietnam. And so tomorrow they're going to be recording this grand entry, this vigil, our honoring with our flags. It's going to be part of this documentary that you're all going to be able to see next year. Some of you this year, you've seen PBS on a national level run a series of Vietnam from 65, well, actually from 45 and 55 when the French were there, and then the U.S. coming in right to the tail end when we took it out when Saigon fell. And so next year will be a native perspective about Vietnam, what it meant for the Indian perspective, what it was like when they got drafted, where they were from, the tour of duty, what it was like to be a native in a combat situation. So tomorrow they're going to be filming here tomorrow afternoon, not only the grand entry, but the candlelight vigil, and all this will be part of this documentary that'll be aired next fall on behalf of PBS. And I want to thank her and her crew. They're going to be setting up here tomorrow, and there's already been different interviews that have taken place. They were at Prairie Island when I was down there in July this year, and they're going to be filming this tomorrow. So we're in for a special treat for next fall when that series comes out again on Vietnam from a native perspective of combat and so forth. So we want to thank her and her filming crew. And like I said, they'll be setting up shop here tomorrow. And for those of you that have never been part of this candlelight vigil that takes place, and with the GIs that sign up and what we go through, but there's actual footage tomorrow that you're going to hear. And that firefight from AK-47s, M60, thumpers in the background, 41s and 88s, you're going to hear the real deal of something that took place. And this is a special way that we commemorate and talk about our veterans and where things are at. It's very, very special. So we want to thank her and her PBS film crew for being here. And they're going to record all these songs and that candlelight special when we get to that portion tomorrow. So what we got right now is we're done with our contest portion here, and we've got two specials here, an honoring special of 2 individuals, and then finishing up that men's fancy special with those 6 finalists that made that cut. And after we finish that out, we'll officially retreat these flags and staff one more time, get everybody out the door, get a good night's rest, and reminding everybody, young people that are under 18, you can't be in the hallways from 10 to 7. And they also extended, right, Marcus, the buffet, they said they're going to keep it open late because of the Powell crowd. They're going to keep that open till 2 or 2:30, because usually when we end, everything shuts down, and then the deli gets all congested, so they're going to extend the buffet. Just for the show, just for the Buck Wild singers. Hey. So keep that in mind.
Warren, you're needed down here. There will be two segments to this. Ihani Wichoka. These are some old ways that Florentine, he's my little brother. He said, you know, I'm the only one that came. And he said, I'm at that age where, you know, I'm the only one now. So he's going to rely on myself to kind of let you know how this goes. So as we go into this, Chetan is going to be going into the military once again. Another family member. This is the dad and a son, Chaske and Chetan. So what's going to happen is I will feed them wasna, being the older of this group. Then Misunkala Wacipi Oloa, a prayer song he will sing. And after that, we go to showtime. There's a Tokala Oloa, Ihani, the Warrior Society song. And do not shake hands with him until all this is done. When we are done, then you can come forward and shake hands with him. Wish him well in the military as he goes abroad. Whichever way the four directions lay, whichever way that they tell him, he will go that way, as his dad did and as his brother did. These are the ways of our people. But we want to take care of this first before he takes off into what he has been called to do by the military. So kind of in that way. And after he comes back here with the Tokala Oloa, then there will be an honoring song. So there will be 3 songs. The first is a prayer song, then the Tokala Oloa, and then the honoring song. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, you know, sometimes these old ways, you know, you can talk about them, but it's doing it is the hard part, because you're actually doing it, taking care of this family of military. the paint, the wase. This is done because one of the things of courage and bravery of his dad, who went first, and his brother, and the relatives, as they put this on him, because he's going to go out there somewhere. We don't know. I don't think he knows either, as all these veterans that are standing here, the Akichita, Ziawachasha, they don't know. So they take care of him like this to encourage him, to give him that courage that he needs, that bravery. This is one of the reasons why they used to do this when they came back before. But he is going to go. So that's why he is now given this part from his family members, especially his father, who began to mark his son. So consider this a teaching, and I want to thank my Misunkala for guiding us this way, because he knows these ways, and I know these are so many lessons that he's learned from his auntie, who is also a military woman, and all his relatives that have taught him well. Now we are the recipients of all this knowledge that Florentine brings us. Tangshi, Sissy, he will let you. Tangshi. Try not to record these songs or to videotape this. The only recording that you have is your ears and what you see. Mike, person, come on over. Kokala, Olo. These are some very important parts of our way of life we call the Lakota culture. So before stand right here, and I'd like to turn us over to Florentine at this time for that special song that he's going to sing for this young man, Cheta.
Ho mita ki pe trusikai to was in chutea stea no pe chuzapi. Ho alikta tu ki chokata ohino sepim kha. Hoksila hino sikle azuya